kind of giving him more of an Ansem voice than I am giving a. Oh no. Truly the most epic villain of our time. Where did you get that? Where did you get that?
The queen's looking grossly nice, Misa thinks. Hot.
That is actually terrifying.
God.
Can you not breathe? You don't look like you can breathe.
What the hell? I have no vision.
You gotta get a lot. I was not expecting that. So whichever video. So folks will know which video is. Oh, are you with me? Oh yeah, folks will know which video was first, because that was my genuine reaction.
That we got on your face.
Yeah, we got on my face.
Your facial
That's
reaction.
right. On my all over this.
It's the most impractical costume. Like that's why I purposely.
Could you breathe?
No, barely.
Yeah, it didn't look like it.
So I purposely always avoided these freaking head ones because then you can't even. I couldn't even function for 2 seconds because I couldn't even put in the headphones.
Where did you get that?
That was like an old costume from my brother wore like way back when, like in our childhood. It's been up in the attic all these years.
Probably got asbestos in it.
Yeah,
hopefully you don't have asbestos in your attic. But anyway, this is the most scuffed costume I could scrounge up. I literally had this mask, and I was like, all right, let's see if I get anything blue to kind of like shove on. And yeah, here we go.
The problem is I didn't have even a little vest I could put on, like Jar Jar Binks.
Oh yeah.
So I just got this brown shirt. It's like the closest thing. So now this is what I'll look like from now on, though. It's just a brown shirt.
Yeah, I'll wear that. No, I can't do that. I just remembered I can't do that. I did that. Didn't I do that with something? Oh, I used that. I had my freaking Midoriya mask, my Deku mask that I had last year. I did that. I had it I was able to lean it.
Oh, good.
Oh my gosh. Why?
Break my glasses.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do that. That's a mistake. It's a mistake. Don't do that. Anyway, here we are once again to talk about Halloweentown.
Halloweentown. What does it sound like? Can you barely hear me?
Better than you might think.
It goes right through this mouthful, I guess.
Yeah, but take it off, man. Take it off. That's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Is it this? Do you think this video is really worth that suffering?
The whole video.
That whole video.
All right.
Yeah, here we are.
We're here to talk about Return to Halloweentown. All right, we've gone through all of the Halloweentown movies.
Yeah.
And this is the last one. This is the one. Then, there's one thing that I subtly remembered, so maybe I saw it in passing at one point, but I had no memory actually of this movie. So, from my childhood.
This is 2006, I believe.
2006, 2007, something like that. Yeah. So it's the return, all right? And everybody's here except for
the lead actress.
Lead actress Marnie, except for Sophie and largely Aggie.
Yeah.
You know.
It's kind of weird. Well, no, still no Luke. Luke is still AWOL. He was only in the second one and he never showed up again.
No. Yeah.
He was never even mentioned again. That's the thing that's wild. He wasn't even mentioned in the last movie.
They should have, in passing, said he did something awful and we don't talk about him anymore.
Yeah, we don't talk about him anymore. he turned out to be an asshole or something.
He's racist. He said some controversial things.
He said some pretty racially charged things.
But there's a lot of racially charged things going on in this whole world of Halloweentown.
It's true. The hate crimes that we've documented.
That being said, I enjoyed this movie.
I think I enjoyed it in spite of its existence, almost. I
unironically think this is the best story so far of the Halloweentown movies.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree. I mean, and by that I mean I don't agree. I think that to me, I kept baking up better ideas in my head. Like, remember how they kept baiting the entire movie about how Sophie is doing time traveling? Now Sophie is going and doing time traveling with Grandma,
Right.
and then she gets a box with S. Cromwell on it. Immediately, I'm like, that's from Sophie in the past. And is this a secret thing? And it's gonna be
Sophie,
like
yeah.
family. It's gonna be like this family thing, and it's gonna be like this. It's gonna mean something. No, no, it was just Grandma Aggie somehow the whole time.
Splendora.
Splendora Agatha Cromwell, which is like, okay, you can pull that one out of your ass at the last minute. I hated that. I hated that
hated it?
because to me, it would have made so much. It would have been so much better if it was, especially because like what? So for 1,000 years, she didn't carry on the line or whatever. I mean, that she took a long time to have her daughter. Like how old's mom?
Yeah, I know. I guess we don't know for sure.
So, yeah, it's just there's all kinds of very weird things. Also the it's been handed down by all the Cromwell women. Except I hate to break it to you, but how is that possible?
What do you mean?
Because you have to marry in order to take a name historically, you have to marry into the family to take the name. So they couldn't all exactly be Cromwell women, or they wouldn't have that name.
We're dealing with witches here. We don't know how their marital system or whatever works.
I guess, except her name is Marnie Piper.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but she's still Cromwell. I don't know how that works.
Okay,
but the lineage is there.
Yeah. As Aggie said, it's been passed down through the Cromwell women for all time. So I don't know how that's possible, but.
The thought never crossed my mind. Actually, the thought never crossed my mind that there was actually a Cromwell that did have S, and that's Sophie. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. She's out of this movie for so long, but I was like, where is Sophie?
I don't even. She was barely in the last one, Halloweentown High.
Yeah.
And then she wasn't in this one at all. I think I read some footnote that apparently she was done with acting or something. So she decided not to appear in this movie.
But they couldn't recast her.
No, they wouldn't dare
recast Kimberly J. Brown for literally no reason, and like she was free, she could have done it, but
yeah,
they wanted somebody, I don't know, prettier or something, probably some quote unquote thing.
Thinner, but yeah, it's like they have to make their Barbie doll of their perfect Marnie Piper.
Yeah. Right? That's what they want from the kids. Well, there's like an ass shot in this specific. Speaking of which, the Sinister Girls, where it shows them like walking, and it's like perfectly like focused, and it's like a little too zoomed in on them walking away. So I'm like, come on,
Sinister Sisters. Yeah,
Sinister Sisters. There was something to me that was just like. Something just felt there was more Halloween-y vibes in this, but like still not enough, I guess, in comparison to some of the others.
I agree.
Especially because it was like,
what was the name of that guy with the snot? Like,
oh yeah, he was noises. Like, yeah, he was making snot noises the whole time.
But his name is just like three noises.
Yeah, his name is just straight up three noises, and I will say they tried to make up for the fact that. They weren't performing magic by just having random noises happen in the background. Did you notice that?
Yeah, well, I noticed I did notice like some like noises like as if like creature noises. But what? Yeah, is that what you're talking about?
There was always like screams or like groans, or there was like werewolves howling and some points, and then there was other times where it was like you could hear like cackling in the background. It was like always these weird like
it's just like it's the environment they're in. People are cackling and
yeah. It was kind of great. I kind of dug it. Like I just kept laughing because I thought it was really stupid, but I was like, I get it though. Like it makes sense. It's like, ooh, it's Halloweentown. It's witch you.
Yeah, it's literally called Witch University. So
yeah.
See, that's what we're talking about when you talk about the Cromwell line. This is clearly a matriarchal society here. This Witches University. It's all about the witches, and they even want to. They did throw in warlocks too, but there's some sort of like elitism that the sister was putting on. Like one day it'll be just us, and they get them out of here, and the freaks.
Yeah. Now apparently this as we find out later in the film, this university used to be a castle, was like the castle of the Cromwell Castle, I guess, or something.
And they did a whole I was gonna say flashback, but actually time travel sequence where Marnie goes back and interacts. That's where we first see Splendora, which is literally it's just the same actress.
It was just like, really? I was really lazy. They couldn't hire a new actress for that. They couldn't have had Sophie back. They couldn't have recast Sophie. I would have been so interesting. I would have been so much better if it was.
Yeah, I think they just didn't want to recast more than one character. Everybody else had to be in place. The one thing changed, and we'll just ignore it.
Well, we already kind of ignored her from the last movie. I don't think anyone would have even noticed if they just recast a lookalike, you know?
She's like completely different looking, like red hair. Yeah. Sophie.
She's the redheaded stepchild, yeah. Sophie.
Yeah. And we did get a lot more Dylan in this movie. And my least favorite kind of thing they had going on in this movie was Ethan, being the love interest for Marnie.
Oh yeah, that was so weird.
Out of nowhere.
I didn't really care. I didn't really care too much for that. I was on board to begin with, but like he just like lacked everything that he had in the last movie. He like basically his personality was rewritten to be the love interest guy from the last movie.
Yeah, they really feel the need to always have a love interest, always a new love interest in there, and he just seemed out of place. It's like there was never even a hint of that in the other movie, right? When they interacted fairly often.
Not really.
And so,
yeah,
like they at least could have had teased that maybe. But I guess he saw the new Marnie and he was like, "Oh wow, you look different. I'm into this."
It's like, dang, she's kind of a babe. Also, she was acting like way more girly girl at the beginning than
she was. Yeah.
Do you remember that? Or she's like, she was like, "Ooh, dresses," and she's like doing her nails. And I was like, "That's not Marnie Piper
not
anymore.
My Marnie.
That's not my Marnie. Hashtag. Not my Marnie."
Yeah, they just really wanted her to be like less unique. It's just like, all right. More girly again, yeah.
Yeah, because remember how she was like a nerd in the first one? She's like, I love Halloween, and now she's like, I'm just a girl, just a normal average girl.
Yeah, like I don't get
who happens to be a witch.
Yeah, I don't get the vibe that she loves loves Halloween or anything like that in this one.
Yeah, she should have gone full goth, man. That's what I'm saying.
But I did not expect going into this movie where last movie was Halloweentown High. Now we're going to Witches University. It's just another school.
Yeah, it's yet another school.
A lot more interesting. It was a lot more interesting for me in terms of the actual plot of the school, though.
I think I think I agree, in the sense that like there was more actual genuine intrigue. Like the behind the scenes villain in this one was like, I mean the movie was making it really pointed, being like, hey, these are the bad guys, whereas in the last one it was sort of like weird and twisting, and you had to sort of like, they were like a bunch of red hair. There was like there was a red herring basically. And then it turned out the other thing was the other principal or the big judge guy was in charge or whatever. It was almost like it almost kind of got lost in the details a little bit. And I think with this one, I guess I liked that the villains were like more out and they opened to the audience. It was like, to us, it was like communicated. But I almost felt like they went maybe too overboard with it being obvious, because it was so blatantly obvious that Marnie was like the dumbest person ever. Again, this time it was like, she's like, I can't believe you, Ethan, I can't believe you would lie about that. And it was like, what are you talking about? The faculty is, except for the old lady who looked shockingly like, we actually were theorizing that it could be like a past or even an alternate dimension Aggie at first, which would have been which also would have been an interesting twist.
Yeah.
She was like the only faculty member that was actually liked her, or like even acted like she was interested in her. Mm-hmm. Like the headmistress lady was always very kind of cold, even when she was trying to be welcoming. Like it was so obvious something else was going on that like you have to be at a D&D table. You'd have to literally roll like a negative number on insight not to see that. Like,
So many people were in on it though. Like the sisters, Professor Goodwin, I think her name was, who you're talking about, and then Grog, who she a couple times called that old fossil Grog. Like use the same
the old
exact
fossil.
joke.
I loved it. Yeah, I was here for fossil grog. Yeah, I think it was Ichabod Grog was his
Goodbye,
name.
Grog.
I was a fan of that actor. Like I almost wish that actor had played the villain on the last one. I thought he did. He was hamming it up. He was doing a really good
What was the
job.
name of the main guy who was like the father of the three sisters?
When they first started it, I was like, "What the? That voice is not coming out of that man." I don't know.
I kind of love
It was. That was his voice. I was very surprised. Yeah, I don't remember. His name was something sinister, Silas Sinister or something like that.
He's like, there's nothing
Right?
sinister going on here. What are you talking
yeah.
about?
Yeah, right. And
I
I was
love
like,
that guy.
yeah.
Yeah, then
But-
we had Professor Periwinkle, who, yeah, was giving the Agatha vibes for sure. And then she, at one point, was like talking about Splendora. And Marnie's like, you're not going to say you're Splendora, right? I'm getting a Star Wars moment here.
Yeah, I thought that was quite funny. I was like, that was cute.
Yeah.
But
She was secretly in Agent Periwinkle of Halloweentown's Anti-Dominion League.
right.
And she's been undercover for 10 centuries. That's right.
So 1,000 years.
Yeah.
She was undercover for 1,000 years. So as long as Aggie was reigning as queen, or didn't reign as queen anymore, I don't know. It was sort of vague about that. I did, however, find it very clever that the way they hid the key to the box was literally hiding it just in time.
Yeah. It was,
Like it didn't exist until the other thing. However, I hated the fact that the pumpkin came from Marnie. I hated that. I hated
she
that. I was
also
like,
gave Benny
how many-
his nickname. Benny.
yeah, I was like, how many freaking bootstrap paradoxes do we got going on here? I hate it. I hate it. I didn't like that. I like the key twist because that's fun. That's like the thing. That's like they play with that like a little bit in. I feel like they play with that a little bit in Chrono Trigger, where it's like, yeah, you sort of have this. Oh, it's like we need this thing, but oh, it doesn't like fit the lock or anything like that. I was like, oh, this thing needs to exist, and then you have to like when you go back in time, you get it, and it's like, oh, it hasn't existed for thousands of years or whatever, and then you come back in time, and that basically creates it again, because you taking it from the past is what's making it appear in the present. I like stuff like that. That's fun. I don't like the pumpkin being Marnie's creation. That kind of made me mad.
Yeah, the fact that it's like unprecedented, right? Like she had to she's just recreating what she saw in the future.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't track as far as she incepted that.
Also,
yeah,
I guess
it gets messy in
moved it.
general when you do stuff like I guess they had to move it out of there somehow. And but yeah, I mean if you actually try to look at that and analyze it, it's like it never works. It's like she gave Benny his nickname, which she only knew because of Benny in the future. It's
like you can't. To me, it's like you do the one thing, don't do all of it, because like all of it's like we're being a little too cute with it, and I'm like you start to lose me when you do a little too much. When you're clever, that's why I like the key part. That part was fun, but
I do think they improved on some things. Like I feel like overall production value was pretty good. Like I think the effects were much better than they used to be.
They were, except I thought the castle looked awful. Looked awful. It was like one of the. I was like, they had this one. They paid for this one model that was probably belonged to some other thing that Disney was working on. They're like, all right, we got to use it. And it's like all they had was just a 3D model, like a static 3D model. And I was watching it with my housemate Mike, and he was like, "Wait, wasn't it just like 8 o'clock when they lifted off? Because the tower on the clock tower is straight midnight." And I was like, "No, they had one asset. They couldn't change it around at all. That's all they had. They just had to film around it. So I had like that cool panning shot around it." But
I was gonna say, other than that, though, I like the effects are better.
Yeah, the effects overall were. There was I actually really loved the effect of when she was like creating the portal, and there was like that weird like distortion effect That was really cool. I liked that a lot. It made like some weird like faces and
Yeah,
stuff. I was like, that's great. I love that.
and then with them going
Um,
into the portals, like particle by particle kind of thing.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that was really good. I like that a lot too.
so I feel like definitely like the budget was increased or something.
Yeah.
I kind of felt that a little bit in the last movie too. Like the budget was a little better, but this
Hmm.
one I felt was noticeable. And so we also had this whole Dylan is like basically a simp is like his whole thing this
Oh
movie.
my God, it was so. I hated that too. I was like, Dylan the simp was so. It was so pathetic. It was like,
She was like, "Don't talk to my
it's-
brother that way." He's like, "No, talk to me however you want." He's like,
yeah, I
"You gotta
was
talk
like,
to me
what,
about
bro? She was just like being like, yeah, you're gonna be my dog. It's like, is that like that? That's like isn't that like a thing now with I think that's a thing from I haven't seen it yet. I think that's a thing from Chainsaw Man where like the girl was like bark like a dog or something like that.
inspired by this
But yeah,
movie.
that's they would have done that. They would have done that in this movie, and he would have done it. I mean, he did
He
technically.
did end up barking like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Sure.
just for them. Um, yeah, I was like, what? His character was like now just simp, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I mean, he wasn't really all that interesting to begin with. I never found, but like this was like the worst. I was like,
I
oh,
thought he had some nice moments. Other than that, though, he did have like the little. Oh, he uses his magic to read. Uh,
oh yeah, that was kind of
that
neat.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, because especially because I was like, it's not just he's reading really fast, but it's like the magic is also information absorption because like you can read really fast and then just not like take in anything, but like if you're reading that fast and absorbing all that information, that's killer. You know, they give you some crazy brain. They'll give you some headaches, nosebleeds. You know, you do too much. Yeah.
And so then we also had Gwen, Marnie's mom, who was on the
Oh, that
other
was
side of things. She's like becoming a realtor, and always calling in through their witch's glass through like any source of water. I guess it's like the toilet.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I was like, mom character. Why can't you just like wait till the people whose houses you're showing leave before doing
yeah,
that?
she got caught a couple times. One time in the toilet, one time in the bird bath. So I do think it's interesting. Like she has to cover that up.
Yeah,
But like in the grocery store, she just openly uses her magic. And there's no shame in
Yeah.
that.
I like the guy's like meltdown on Register 7. It's like there was honestly those were like some pretty good, decent comedy bits. I would say like all the stuff with mom
Yeah.
were all pretty good. Especially she's like, "I miss you," and then like the people like stop and kind of like smile and like like look like the birdies. They all flew away. Um,
And yeah,
but there's a few.
Marnie's being like kind of unreasonably pushing her away. Though I was like,
Yeah,
"Come on, Marnie."
it was a lot. It was a lot. I will say there's a few things about mom that I wanted to bring up. All of the stuff. Remember how they used to live out in the Midwest or something, like kind of like nowhere town, USA.
Hmm.
It was so obviously Southern California that it was painful. Like that wide shot of when it was showing mom, like showing the neighborhoods, and you look down the hill and you saw the valley down below, the deserts and the other mountains, and I was like, this is Southern California. That's just all it is. We don't talk about fall here. What is this, Halloween? And we're talking about like dying leaves. It's like this is SoCal, man. This isn't. There was also her use of like magic to change the houses begs a lot of questions for her job as a realtor.
Yeah.
Which is that like her job? It made it seem like, oh, she just got this
She just
job.
got it. Yeah, she just got it in this movie.
So what was she doing before?
I don't know. No idea.
Because yeah, she's like, need something to do now. I don't have kids,
She just
so
raised her kids.
I'm just gonna be a realtor.
Stay-at-home mom.
So yeah, well, where'd the income come from?
Magic.
Magic. All right. Well, I do. It does still beg the question: is like, how can she be like selling these people houses or like showing these houses and then like changing the design and then because she's selling them for like either a homeowner or a home association. So wouldn't they like come out and be like, what did you do to this house?
Made it better. It's spruced it up.
Yeah, and it's like, how did you do that? How much is that going to cost me? And then how can she explain that's not going to cost them anything?
I mean,
That's just wild.
I mean, like to think of just that aspect, like you're a realtor, but there's like so much more you could be doing with if you really want to use your magic like that. If you can just
Yeah,
freaking be
yeah,
building houses willy nilly, then
yeah.
you could
You
be
could,
making
yeah.
bank.
That'd be pretty crazy.
Like you're
Actually,
an
you make like
invaluable
really fun.
asset.
You can make really fun houses that way too.
Yeah, and just freaking change it
Yeah.
around like The Sims, like as you want.
Do
And
do 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 do.
yeah.
Um.
And so when they go to which university, the big thing is that the rule is you cannot use magic at which university. Marnie don't like that, but you gotta do it. But then we constantly see the sinister sisters getting away with it. And at first it's like
Yeah.
they don't even have to use their magic because the boys are like so thirsty that they'll use their magic for them.
Yeah.
they'll break the rules just to please them. So everybody was kind of falling under the simp spell by the sinister sisters, but
Yeah, I know. Everybody was just big simp, including the professor. What's his face? But that's because he was in on the scheme with them. So that's why Professor Grog didn't do anything to
but they
stop them.
made sure to mention this clause that all the spells will become permanent at midnight. This is just like something they hadn't stated. I don't know.
Yeah, it was to me. It was kind of like, huh? Where'd this come from?
It's like we need to like artificially inject the same plot from Halloweentown 2, where it's like it has to be done by midnight. Be careful about the whole midnight thing again. It's just like, oh, that's just the rule of which university, of course.
Yeah,
because that's reasonable that like someone could break the rules and do something awful, and it's like, oh dang, we didn't really think of that when we made that rule. So like when Dylan got changed into a dog, and all these like people could have been transformed into these things and just made permanent because someone broke the rules.
Well, now he's permanent owner of the gift. So
The amulet?
boom, the amulet. That's called. I think they called it the gift.
Yeah.
I think that's all that's referred to as. Yeah.
So and they made it a whole thing at the end as if it was like teasing the next movie, very much.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Which
wow.
would have been kind of interesting. I guess maybe Sophie could have actually come back in that one.
Yeah. But yeah,
You know?
they now named that one Return to Halloweentown. Now it's been 15 years, so they'd have to do another return. Probably just be called Halloweentown again.
I probably just Halloweentown would be if they did a new one. Would Kimberly J. Brown come back? Wouldn't that be a little awkward? Would they do like a Halloween thing, like where they just sort of pretend that one doesn't exist and then sort of just come back?
So,
and
honestly, it's tough because they might want to take some of the things.
Yeah, because I think I agree with you that the general plot is actually pretty good. I'm not really the biggest fan of like everything needs to have the chosen one. And it's like I like that story plot, but like it just gets kind of weird here. It's like, you are the chosen prophecy. Our Cromwell must do XYZ for us to the Dominion to get the power.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Also, I hate that they've made it a point in Halloweentown now that every movie has to have a scene with Marnie on the broom, and now every movie has to have a scene with Marnie on the broom with a boy. It's like it's the given. You need to have the epic broom moment that we're all looking for. So,
Marnie on a broom with a boy.
That's right. Ethan's there. What a moment it was.
What a moment. He was like, wow. But he was like, I gave up my powers. Oh yeah, that was some big random like twist at the end. He's like, I gave up my powers. And it was like, what, huh? It's like he like relinquished his powers willingly, apparently. Which is strange to me. That you would do that.
Yeah.
But especially because at the end, when the Dominion all get their powers taken away, the daughters who were just as complicit and should have probably also had their powers taken away, apparently were just, or no,
They were, right?
I guess they did, but I felt like, why didn't they get imprisoned too?
Because they're minors.
I guess because they're children. I don't think they are minors. We're in college.
Oh shoot!
They're in their
Everybody
20s. They were upperclassmen, I think. So I think
everybody looks so young to me. Weren't they walking around like? Yeah, they were in like a cafeteria.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we've lost it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That felt like high school to me, and I'm just not realizing.
Yeah, it does.
Because they had a whole freaking cafeteria moment where they made magically put stuff on her tray.
I mean,
don't remember
colleges
that.
do have like, yeah, I guess colleges do technically have that. I mean, like I went
I
to a
guess
college that
so.
had,
I mean, yeah, they do, but I don't know. It just
it
felt very high
felt,
school
yeah, it did
cafeteria.
feel, it felt way more high school than college. I'll give it that.
I
Do we talk about the genie girl?
the
She had a
genie
cool
girl.
hairstyle.
Hmm.
Yeah, she had a cool hairstyle. It was cool.
She was there.
Do you, I
She
wonder
had
how
her
long that
moment.
takes. I wonder how long that takes to do though when you like multiple like do those things in your hair. Like how long does that take to do it?
Hmm.
Look very time consuming and complicated. But anyway,
I don't know. They let.
also music. I want to speak to it again. It was better than the last score. I'll give it that. The last score was like trying to be like way too overly dramatic. This one had callbacks to the old themes, which I liked.
Hmm.
I heard the ba 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 ba.
Never quite hit that like the full
Oh, we've
energy.
never we've never gone full back to full Mark Mothersbaugh, but we do have some there's a little hints of it.
And we did cue a
So,
freaking generic pop song when they went on the broom scene. Also,
oh my gosh, yeah. Why did we get to do that?
it's rough.
I can show you the. I don't know. I think that's about
So
all I have to say about it,
I
though.
meant to look up before this if they have an actual spelling of that character's name, the snotty guy, because he was
Oh
just
yeah.
three sounds. Like, is there a way to spell it out?
Can we just call him? Yeah, I forgot to check that in the credits.
Yeah.
It was like if he's like
He was
snot
kind of
boy or
gross though.
drool
They
boy,
had him making a lot of noises, and he was just like profusely snotting out there. It
drool,
was gross.
drooling and
Drooling.
snotting. Yeah, it was pretty gross. Why would anybody be his friend? You know,
Oh, okay.
that's what I.
And then
um,
at the end, when Dylan gets transformed back from a dog, he says, "I think I'll just sit and stay." And Gwen, his mom, is
yeah,
like,
yeah. It's like
"Okay, just
just you
don't just don't
just
roll over just yet, though."
yeah, don't roll over just yet. Yeah, I was like that. That was fun. That was cute. It was stupid, but I liked it. Guess what I
Overall,
mean? Mom's bringing the jokes. You know,
yeah,
mom's bringing the jokes this
I
time.
appreciated the mom, and I think Dylan had some good moments aside from being a simp.
Yeah,
So it's like if we had Sophie in there, if we had Marnie, like as Marnie,
yeah,
that would have really helped it.
yeah.
I mean, the whole Ethan thing didn't even need to be wasn't necessary to me.
Yeah, no, it felt totally tacked on, especially because it was like they then created this conflict with him that lasted all of like 10 minutes, where she was like, "I don't believe you. I can't believe you would
For
say
no
they're the
reason.
Dominion." And it's like, what? Why would he lie about that? Also, the teachers
What she
have.
said. I forget what she said. She's like, they're good people, unlike you, or something like that.
Yeah, it's like, what? What are you talking about? He's been nothing but nice to you this whole movie, and they've not been very nice to you this whole movie.
Yeah.
Where she, especially because it was like, oh, I don't know, it seems like a trap. It's not a trap. Like, it was like a moment like that happened. I was like,
It's like,
what?
yeah, you needed someone to bounce things off of with Marnie, but
Yeah.
I mean, you can honestly take out Ethan, take out the love part of it, and put the freaking snotty boy in there. Let her rock.
Snotty Boy, have Luke come back. Why not Genie Girl? She could do more.
Genie girl could have done more, yeah.
Yeah. She was cool. She had a really good sass. Like, she had like the eye roll thing going on. So it was like, yeah.
And she was part of the epic moment at
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah.
Um,
But,
there you have it. Honestly,
yeah.
yeah, I feel like there was so much untapped potential with Sophie too, because from the beginning she was like this freaking raw Cromwell power. And
Yeah.
we just never saw
And
that.
Yeah.
Go
It's just,
anywhere.
they just never really built on that at all.
Which is
Just,
like, I compare her to Gohan in Dragon Ball Z because she is like that one,
mm,
and in a way it's similar to Gohan where Gohan ends up just going back to like normal life after he is like he skyrocketed in power so much.
great Saiyaman saga?
Yeah, and then after that even, or yeah, most of the end of Dragon Ball Z, he's just like nerd guy,
Yeah.
just father. So
Yeah.
that could be similar to Sophie, but we never even got her to reach her peak. But
Hot take,
overall,
Great Saiyaman saga is the best saga of DBZ. No, that's not true. I think people hate on it way too much though. I think it's great, but
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
But overall, I'm thinking I might have a hot take here because I know the fans universally like they shun this movie. as far as I know, because it's like
Yeah.
don't have Marnie, don't have Sophie, barely Aggie, and I get that Aggie we've always said is the best part, and her
She is.
she has such a brief moment in the beginning, and she's gone. I don't know if there's a reason for that, like they couldn't get her for the whole movie, or they just wanted to have the twist of her being the Splendora, but
Maybe. The thing that I was like, I was immediately like, what special appearance by Debbie Reynolds? I was like, oh no, this ain't good.
I didn't
When I saw that, I was like, it was, but yeah, no. Ultimately, though, it was actually pretty decent watch. I mean, it was a very watchable movie. It was like, it wasn't boring. It wasn't aggravating. It didn't have. Yeah, I mean, I think I prefer it to. I would rather rewatch this one than rewatch, Halloweentown High for sure.
Mhm.
So.
Now, what score would you give it out of 10?
I think this is probably like a 7 for me.
Okay.
I have a lot of problems with it, but ultimately, I still really enjoyed. I enjoyed the added production value, which seems weird because like to me the most of the charm from Halloweentown came from its feeling very like hashed together and low budget. But I appreciate that they used that well, and I don't know, the writing was just overall. The comedy worked a little better this time. I think maybe it's because we kept having the cutaways with mom and like all that stuff just worked very well for me. Her relationship with Marnie felt like really a lot better this time because it wasn't just antagonistic. It was like mom really trying to reach out and be like, hey, like it felt like mom really cared about her a lot more, which I felt has been sort of lacking in a lot of these movies. That whole relationship was fun. I like the fact that we had time travel. Even though I ended up being really disappointed in the outcome, I think the movie had more potential if that had been Sophie, that would have been really cool, I think. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was one of the better of the ones we watched. Honestly, I'm kind of with you on that. I know it is hated, and I think almost exclusively because of the actress change. But
Yeah.
and like I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think either of them are like especially wonderful actresses. They're fine. I don't think this was like an amazing upgrade. Like it was like, oh, she just looks more pretty or something. Like that's sort of what it sort of feels like. It just feels weird because like it's like I almost like the other Marnie could act better. Like I almost felt like she was a better actress. Like it was it was weird.
The whole vibe of the characters kind of off too.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
Okay.
So
All right.
it ended up being higher than me. I was thinking around there, but I kind of talked myself down from it a little bit, only because I feel like it should definitely take a significant hit for having the wrong Marnie for no reason.
Yeah.
Which is like as especially the actress like is fond of playing Marnie, and there's no reason for it. I'm sure she wasn't demanding like I need a 300% pay increase,
We're talking Helena Taylor, Bayonetta. Ooh,
Bayonetta
that's timely.
vibes, yeah.
Bayonetta 3 vibes.
No Sophie, barely any Aggie. These are crimes against humanity. They need to be paid for. But it is the best story since the first one, at the very least, in my eyes. So it's still, even with a 6.5 for me, it's still second highest score out of all the Halloweentown movies.
Yeah.
And then, that gives us 6.75 out of 10 Tarqaron score.
Yeah, I think there's a fine enough score for this film. So,
and no one's brave enough to tell you that.
No one's brave enough to say.
Other Halloweentown fans will be like 1 out of 10. No good.
Yeah.
Don't watch.
Well, other fans will also say that Calabar's Revenge is really good, which I can't agree with. Even though I would rewatch that one in a heartbeat, it's still like I was not very good. I couldn't jive with it. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, credit
where
credit's due.
Yeah.
They did pretty well considering. And so if they have these things, which is the things I'm criticizing are things they've just taken away from previous movies. If they had them, then it would have been elevated. It would have been.
I think it would have been an all-time classic for the fans. People would love it still.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, that ends our Halloweentown series for the month of October here.
Yeah,
And so,
there it is.
I mean, the highest peak for me was the first one. I gave it 8.5. You know, I think you gave a 7 to both the first one and this one, right?
Yeah. If I could go back in time, I would probably give the first one a 7.5. It's really fun. It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good kids movie. This is also, I would say, this is also a good kids movie too. Those are both solid children's films.
And I do have, there's still nostalgic moments from the second one, but it's like, yeah, if you're looking at it critically, it's not up to snuff. And then Halloweentown High is not up to snuff for me. Wait, no, what did you give Halloweentown High? Did you give that one higher?
I think I gave that a 6.5. I think I gave it a 6.5. I believe.
Are you sure? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty sure, yeah, because I think you gave it a 5.
I gave it a 5, the same as Halloweentown 2.
Yeah.
Interesting. So if we look at our scores, I think that means Halloweentown High, Halloweentown. What's the name of this
Return
movie?
to Halloweentown. Return to Halloweentown.
Yes. Okay, number 1, Halloweentown. Number 2, Return to
Yeah.
Halloweentown. Number 3, Halloweentown High. Number 4, Halloweentown 2, Calabar's Revenge.
Yeah.
All right.
They just had to overpromote that like crazy. And then,
And I'm here for it if they decided to revive it. You know, they could easily get Kimberly J. Brown back for it for sure.
Yeah.
And I think obviously that would be, if they were to bring it back, they wouldn't bring back what's her name who did this one, just because the fans equate Halloweentown with that actress. So.
Yeah, and hey, you could do a thing. You've got I don't know if the guy who played Calabar is still around. He's still my favorite villain. Even though he's, again, on the screen not very much. You can bring him and Cal back, especially because Kimberly J. Brown and that actor who played that are like engaged now. So
Yeah, but she can't be engaged to Cal. What's Cal? What are Cal and Calabar gonna do now? It's been too long.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like a
know.
Palpatine and Rise of Skywalker thing. Like,
yeah, it was all Calabar's servants. That
Calabar
everyone
was overseeing the whole Dominion. Was Calabar moving as he saw fit? Yeah,
the big changes coming to Halloweentown.
Even after I'm long and gone. Yeah,
that's right.
With all that power comes responsibility.
It's true.
In this movie.
Yeah, I was like Spider-Man. I was like,
and she said you
Uncle
stole that
Ben?
from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a couple little pop culture references in there.
Yeah. Before Disney owned Star Wars and Spider-Man.
Star Wars and Spider-Man. Yeah. That's crazy. They shot their shot. They were putting it out there.
That's right. It was Halloweentown that predicted it all.
Maybe we could see like Halloweentown come into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like they're like mutants.
Yeah, we just need a Marvel comics about Halloweentown.
Integrated like Marnie is an Avenger by the end of it. That's epic.
That'd be epic, dude. That'd be freaking epic. All right, we've already got witches, so there you go.
Sophie Piper Cromwell will.
Yeah, she's the Scarlet Witch.
All right. I'm looking forward to the 2023. The movie is just called Sophie.
So it's not Sophie's Choice. Zach, which? Wait, oh dang it! That movie is very different.
This was fun though. This was a fun time.
Yeah.
Because there's more Disney Channel original movies out there for us.
There are a lot more DComs. Johnny Tsunami fans, where you at?
High School Musical fans, where you at?
Yeah, we need to go through that too. High School Musical. So
it's funny because I still love a lot of that music. It's shamelessly, but I don't know how I would rate those movies or review those movies. So it'd be interesting.
I've never seen a single one, so I would be.
Well, you can bet on it. We will.
Yeah.
Get our head in the game.
I was gonna be get your head in the game, and you should. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Living in my own world.
Well, if you like this, you can go check out our Zach reviews things that Alec likes video.
Yes, I rank.
And by that, he ranks them.
Yeah.
Not reviews them, but he ranks them.
Yes, rates them,
The tier
reviews
list.
them all. That's the next one. He review all of them. Give them all an out of 10 rating.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Hey,
well,
I mean, I'm also looking forward to Aggie Cromwell showing up in our Survivor in our Tarqaron All Stars.
It's already been decided, right? Aggie is the representative.
Aggie's 100% showing up. Aggie and Calabar, I think, have to both show up.
Both of them.
Maybe Cal. Maybe Cal would show up. You know, maybe the milk toast.
Maybe, Luke.
Or just Luke. Luke, we oh, how we miss you.
Yeah, what's like the weirdest cut we could have? Benny.
Yeah, we Benny. How about broom shopkeep owner from the first Halloweentown?
Yeah. the lady that goes. Eh!
Yeah, the scary lady that like.
Yeah, all our rank. We gotta rank all the Halloweentown characters sometime. I feel like there's not much there. It's Aggie at S, and then we go down to B is the next one.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Marnie,
Pink Troll Girl.
Pink Troll Girl, who Dylan does not care about in the slightest.
Yeah,
he dropped her so quick.
Yeah, he won't simp for her anymore once he saw her true form.
She dropped him. You know, it's like there's only
Yeah.
so much you can take being with someone who's not doesn't accept you for who you are and is not attracted
That's right.
to you.
Yeah,
It's tough.
yeah, that's rough. All right.
All right. And then the Sinister Sisters right there in A tier.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Mm.
Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, hit the notification bell, and click the links in the description for our social media. All right.
All right. Mask. You got a growth there, Zach.